People talk to me like I'm already gone. They slow their words, they raise their voices, they simplify everything, as though my mind left the building years ago. I see it in their eyes, that careful, polite expectation that I'll forget what we were discussing, that I'll trail off, that I'll confirm every fear they carry about what aging does to a brain. I don't blame them, but they're wrong. I'm 98 years old, and I know my brain won't fail me. Not because I got lucky, not because I have special genes, because I've been doing specific things for decades that science now confirms actually work. And here's what should scare you. Nearly half of all dementia cases, 45% according to the leading research, are preventable. Most people don't know that. Most people are sleepwalking into cognitive decline while the roadmap to avoid it is sitting right in front of them. So let me give you that roadmap, because I didn't get to 98 with my mind intact by accident. Your brain has a night shift. Most people don't know this. They think sleep is rest. It's not. Sleep is active maintenance. While you're in deep sleep, your brain runs a cleaning system. Scientists call it the glymphatic system. That only works when you're truly out. During that deep phase, the spaces between your brain cells expand by about 60%, and cerebrospinal fluid rushes through like a power wash, flushing out a protein called amyloid beta. That's the same protein that builds up in Alzheimer's disease. Your brain has a built-in crew that takes out the trash every single night, but they only clock in when you sleep deeply enough. Here's something that surprised even the researchers. Sleeping on your side helps that flushing process. Sleeping on your back makes the cleaning crew work uphill. Gravity matters even inside your skull, and the sweet spot is 7 to 8 hours. Less than that, say 4 hours or fewer, increases your risk of cognitive impairment by nearly 50%. Sleeping too much signals something may already be wrong. I've slept on my side for 40 years, not because a study told me to, because my body told me to. Turns out my body was smarter than I knew. Now, let's talk about movement. Everyone knows exercise is good for you. But what most people don't understand is how it works inside your brain. When you exercise, especially aerobic exercise, your muscles release a molecule called irisin. That molecule crosses into your brain and triggers the production of something called BDNF. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for new brain cells. It helps neurons grow, survive, and form new connections. Walking is good. Walking is watering the lawn. But if you want real results, you need miracle. Grow. Here's what the research shows. Activities that force your brain and body to work at the same time. Dancing, Tai Chi, navigating unpredictable environments produce effects on brain function nearly 3 times stronger than simple walking. The key is cognitive motor strain. You have to balance, remember a sequence, and move simultaneously. If it feels easy, it's not doing enough. I danced 3 times a week until I was 87. I do Tai Chi in my garden now. I wobble sometimes. That wobble is the point. It means my brain is building new roads. You want a sharp brain at 98? Don't just stroll on a treadmill staring at a screen. Make your brain pat its head and rub its belly at the same time. That's where the growth happens. Now here's something that should make you walk to your medicine cabinet right now. Common over-the-counter medications. Benadryl, PM, sleep aids, certain bladder pills, contain compounds called anticholinergics. These drugs physically block your brain's primary learning chemical. Acetylcholine. That's the neurotransmitter you need to form memories. And the research isn't subtle. 3 or more years of cumulative use increases dementia risk by 49%. 1 in 10 dementia diagnoses may be directly caused by these drugs. 1 in 10. For something you can stop taking. And let's talk about what you should be putting in, not just what you should be taking out. Your brain needs choline to make acetylcholine. But here's the twist. Choline from supplements gets eaten by your gut bacteria and turned into a compound that damages your heart. Choline from whole egg yolks gets absorbed properly without that harmful byproduct. The food matrix matters. The Mind Diet, which emphasizes leafy greens, nuts, berries, and whole foods, reduces Alzheimer's risk by over 50% in those who follow it closely. Even moderate adherence cuts risk by a third. So put the Benadryl in the trash. Eat the egg yolk. Stop swallowing pills that are quietly dismantling your memory. Here's something else people don't talk about enough. Loneliness rots the brain faster than cheap gin. I'm not being colorful. I'm being precise. Chronic loneliness activates your stress system around the clock, flooding your brain with cortisol that physically shrinks the hippocampus, the structure you need for memory. The mortality impact of social isolation is equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's not a metaphor. That's measured, quantified, and devastating. Northwestern University ran a 25-year study on what they call superagers, people over 80 who have the memory of someone in their 50s. They found one defining trait. Not puzzles, not supplements, people. Superagers have deep, active social lives. Their brains even contain 4 to 5 times more of a specialized brain cell found only in highly social species. The cells are called von Economo neurons, and they act as high-speed relays, protecting the brain's social cognitive networks from decay. The people who stay sharp at 100 aren't sitting alone doing crosswords. They're arguing with neighbors and hosting dinner parties. Humans are pack animals. Without the pack, the wiring goes dark. Speaking of crosswords, let me destroy a myth that's been costing people decades of brain health. A massive analysis of over 200 studies found that the benefit of brain games and familiar puzzles for general cognitive function is exactly 0 when you correct for the placebo effect. Doing the crossword makes you good at crosswords. It doesn't make you smarter. It doesn't protect you from decline. You're just greasing old, familiar neural pathways. What works is genuine frustration. The ACTI trial, one of the largest and longest studies on cognitive training ever done, found that a specific type of speed of processing training maintained cognitive benefits for a full decade and cut car crash risk by nearly half. Standard memory training, its effect was basically nothing. If you want to build cognitive reserve, learn something that makes your brain sweat. Learn conversational Mandarin. Pick up the cello. If it feels like chewing glass at first, that's the signal your brain is building new roads. If it's comfortable, it's not working. Now let me tell you about the threats nobody warns you about. 3 of them. And all 3 are fixable. First, your ears. Untreated hearing loss is the single largest modifiable risk factor for dementia in midlife. Every 10 decibel drop in hearing increases your risk by about 20%. Your brain steals resources from memory just to decode garbled sound. Vanity about hearing aids costs people their minds. Get the test. Wear the aid. Your memory is worth more than your pride. Second, your mouth, the bacterium behind gum disease, Porphyromonas gingivalis, has been found in the brains of every Alzheimer's patient researchers have examined in certain studies. It travels from bleeding gums through the bloodstream, colonizes the brain, and produces toxins that drive the formation of the exact plaques and tangles that define Alzheimer's. Floss your teeth or lose your mind. I mean that literally. Third, your blood pressure. Aggressive blood pressure control. Keeping systolic below 120 reduces cognitive impairment by about 20% and slows the white matter damage that suffocates your brain's waste clearance system. Stiff arteries literally choke the cleaning crew I told you about earlier. Every part of this system connects. 38 years ago, I watched my best friend forget her own daughter's name. She looked at the girl she'd raised for 40 years and said, "I'm sorry, dear. Have we met?" I decided that day I would fight for every neuron I had left. With evidence. Here's what that fight looks like, in plain language. 7 things, every day. Sleep deeply. 7 to 8 hours, on your side. Move with purpose. Not just steps, but challenges that make your brain and body work together. Eat real food. Egg yolks, leafy greens, berries, fish. Follow the mind diet as closely as you can. Throw out the pills that steal your memory. Check every medicine in your cabinet for anticholinergic effects, and talk to your doctor about alternatives. Stay fiercely connected. Call someone, visit someone, argue with someone. Your brain needs the pack. Learn something that scares you, not something comfortable, something hard enough to make you want to quit. And for God's sake, floss, brush, see your dentist, take care of your hearing and your vision. You're watching this because some part of you knows you still have time. You do. But time is the one thing that doesn't wait for you to be ready. Start today, not tomorrow, today. Subscribe if you want the roadmap. I'll be here as long as my brain lets me. And I intend to make that a very long time.